Imagine sitting in a packed auditorium in 2009. Simon Sinek steps up to the microphone. He's about to tell you why Apple captivates millions, why Martin Luther King Jr.'s wisdom still inspires, and what makes some leaders magnetic while others flounder. But here's the twist. It's not what they do or how they do it. It's why they do it. That why is a secret code that unlocks trust and loyalty. Why? Because most people start with what and miss the one thing that truly moves us. Stick around, and I'll show you how knowing your why changes everything. Let's crack open how the most inspiring leaders think differently, by flipping the usual approach on its head, revealing a simple but staggering pattern beneath success. Back in 2007, Apple wasn't just selling computers, they were selling a belief, challenging the status quo. Simon Sinek points to their why think different, not just flashy gadgets. That clarity of purpose turned casual buyers into die-hard fans and launched Apple from almost bankrupt to a trillion-dollar giant. The twist: most companies lead with product features, not purpose. So why didn't Apple follow the crowd? Because they first painted a vision that resonated deep inside us all. This opens a bigger question. How do you discover that why? Hold that thought. Sinek maps out the golden circle, 3 layers: why in the center, how in the middle, what on the outside. Most organizations start on the outside, selling what they do, then explain how they do it, rarely touching the why. Think of it like a bullseye. The why connects with our limbic brain, the emotional, decision-making center, like a magnet pulling your attention. The how and what speak to rational parts that justify decisions. So when companies sell the what first, they're missing the emotional hook. It's biology steering us, without us realizing. Here's the kicker. Once a leader or brand connects to their why, followers become believers, not just customers. It sparks loyalty that's not just transactional but tribal. Think Martin Luther King Jr. His "I have a dream" wasn't about policies, it was a why that stirred the nation. When people see your why clearly, they trust. That's the power triple-locked in the golden circle. Clarity breeds trust, and trust flips customers into loyal fans. Ready to see how this trust builds and tips movements? We dive deeper next. Before you declare your why, consider this. Most folks don't really know their own. They assume it or copy competitors, locking themselves into hollow cycles of motivation and failed loyalty. Sinek tells a story about a sales team chasing quotas through big bonuses and stern warnings, a classic carrots and sticks approach. At first, performance spikes fueled by fear and reward. But soon enthusiasm drains, creativity dies. The team loses passion, replaced by ticking boxes. That's the trap. Motivating with incentives alone fires short bursts but never builds lasting loyalty. You can't fake why. That leaves leaders stuck wondering why their culture feels empty despite all the perks. Think of motivation as a fire. Rewards and punishments act like gasoline, fast and flashy, but they burn out quickly. Purpose, the why, is the ember that keeps the fire warm and steady. Without it, motivation becomes a fleeting sprint, never a marathon. It's biology in action again. Dopamine spikes with rewards, but to sustain focus and teamwork, humans need meaning. Otherwise, the effort feels hollow and exhausting. This explains why incentive culture fails to build commitment or trust. Worse, many organizations arrogantly assume they know their why without truly exploring it. They mimic what works elsewhere or say something vague like, "We want to be the best." Sinek warns, when your why is fuzzy or copied, you confuse your people and alienate customers. This illusion creates a split: employees who don't believe in the mission and customers who don't connect. The antidote? Deep discovery. Next, we'll explore how to uncover your authentic why, the heartbeat of true leadership. Now, knowing your why is just the start. Living it daily demands near-obsessive clarity, discipline, and consistency. That's what turns belief into culture and culture into success. Southwest Airlines doesn't just promise low fares and fun flights. They exist to democratize air travel, making flying accessible. This why shaped every choice, from no-frills service to quirky employee culture. Sinek highlights how Southwest's discipline in sticking to their why, even under pressure to chase profits, kept customers loyal. Contrastingly, competitors offered fancy perks but lost touch with their core purpose, faltering in crises. The lesson: discipline to your why directs your strategy and creates authentic, enduring brands. Picture a jazz band improvising wildly without a guiding melody. It might sound flashy with solos flying everywhere, but quickly becomes noise. That's flashy vs disciplined leadership. Discipline focuses your purpose into every action, every decision, like a tight melody threading through chaos. Without it, your why is just a dream, not a map. Those who stick to disciplined clarity channel energy that inspires undistracted loyalty. Less chaos, more harmony. Consistency seals the deal on trust. Sinek shows how companies like IKEA maintain trust by showing up the same way every time, reinforcing their why through pricing, store design, and customer experience. This relentless consistency cuts through confusion and doubt. For customers and employees alike, trust blooms only when the why translates into predictable, reliable behaviors day after day. It's how you move from hype to heritage. Purpose alone doesn't create movements. Leaders must earn trust to tip their cause from niche support to unstoppable momentum. Here is how passion turns into power. Sinek spotlights Martin Luther King Jr.'s leadership where trust wasn't based on charm or status but shared beliefs and vulnerability. King's clear vision invited people to believe in a better world, creating emotional bonds that outlasted speeches. This trust emerges when leaders show their why authentically, not polished but true. That's how followings form. Without trust, followers become skeptics. The real power isn't persuasion, it's connection through shared why. Using the law of diffusion of innovation, Sinek explains tipping points. The moment an idea jumps from early adopters to the mainstream. It's like a wildfire needing just a spark plus dry brush. Loyal followers ignite the blaze because their belief is contagious, and they communicate why passionately. This isn't marketing spin, it's social biology. Understanding this helps leaders know when their message will catch fire or fizzle out before it begins. Here's the subtle yet critical shift. Leaders don't just sell products or services, they create tribes of believers who live and breathe the why. Apple fans queue overnight not just for phones, but for identity. When your why resonates deeply, you gain followers who spread your story far beyond your reach. That's the transformation from a company to a movement. We'll finish by seeing how you can start rallying your own tribe, step by step. So how do you unearth your why? Not copy it, not guess it, but truly discover and embody it. That's where the biggest shifts happen, and where many leaders trip up. Sinek dives into the roots of our why, revealing it's often tied to formative experiences, early influences, defining moments, sometimes even trauma. He challenges you to dig into your past or your company's origin story to find authentic purpose. For example, the Wright brothers, why wasn't just building airplanes? It was a deep passion for solving flight itself. Finding your why means peeling away assumptions until something real and passionate breaks through. But beware, the process isn't quick or easy. Ironically, just as success proves your why, it can also blur it. Sinek calls this when why goes fuzzy. Companies chase profits and shiny new products, forgetting the core belief that made them special. This split creates confusion internally and alienates customers. The lesson? Success is dangerous without discipline to your why because it tempts you to trade purpose for popularity. Staying vigilant and returning to your why regularly keeps the vision crisp and alive. Finally, communication is a dialogue, not a broadcast. Sinek flips conventional wisdom. To lead with why, you must first listen deeply to your people, your customers, your own intuition. Listening uncovers unspoken needs and shared values, allowing you to tailor your message to resonate authentically. This is how trust is deepened, why connections multiply, and how who's in your tribe becomes crystal clear. Try asking, then really hearing before talking next time. It changes everything. Remember that packed auditorium from the intro? Simon Sinek started by flipping your expectations. Success isn't about what or how you do things, but why. Now you've seen the science, stories, and strategies behind that why, and how it transforms followers into believers, ideas into movements. So here's your takeaway. Tomorrow morning, grab a notepad and jot down moments where your passion burned brightest. Your true why is hidden there. Start leading from that place, speak it, live it, and watch how your circle grows from customers into a tribe. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.